Hey everyone, this is Keith Scott from out in Sydney, Australia. I'm one of the voices of Bullwinkle J. Moose. It's time to watch Relentless and Unstoppable. And so give it up for your main hosts, Douglas Kenny and Andy McPhee.
Yeah, life experiences like 2 weeks in those countries will always remain with anyone. Like you'll never get over it. And you can see on the looks of the actor and the actress, the protagonist and the deuteragonist, brother and sister, you can see on their faces how, they are really happy to be in Scotland.
Oh yeah, I mean Scott Wolf and Lacey Chabert, they were great. They worked together on Party of Five. So they it was it was a coming back to the family moment for them where they were brother and sister. I know the big when people found out this movie was being made, the fans were in a crazy outrage because they thought there were going to be a romance because they played brother and sister in Party of Five. So they're like, oh my God, they can't be in a romantic relationship. So it was made very clear that they were brother and sister in this movie as well. And there's a lot of Easter eggs in the movie about Party of Five. It was them getting back together was a great environment. They brought their families, they had a great time. And I think it really shows in the movie.
Yeah, definitely. And it helps that you have, those British people that are just so classy and so friendly. And they welcome, they're very welcoming to tourists and even people that they consider to be amongst their own.
Yeah, the crew is great. I would love to work with this crew again, the Irish and the Scottish crew. It was such a great experience. They treated you like family, and it was just, and it shows on the movie.
Yeah. What was Scott Wolf like in this movie as far as the difference between his previous film with you and then this one?
Well, I know he worked with Dustin before. He didn't work with me before. But Scott Wolf, he's a great guy. He was great for me to meet him. He's funny. He's a team player. Him and Lacey go way back. His family's great, and I think he's a great actor. And Scott is kind of like Paul Rudd. They don't age. Like he looks the same as he looks 20 years ago. And someday Paul Rudd and Scott Wolf will age. I don't know when that will be though.
Yeah, there's some actors that you still recognize even into their old age. Gene Wilder and Mel Brooks and Dick Van Dyke at 99 years old now.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. It's just amazing. That was a great movie and you can relate to it. And, times like this, you're always wondering what's the difference between Christmas in America and Christmas in other countries. And, when you look at movies like A Christmas Carol, you can see somewhat of a difference, but I like that the Hallmark movies are now helping people understand what the Christmas culture is in other countries outside of just religion.
Yeah, and I think people connect because a lot of people have brothers and sisters, and a lot of, they have some good relationships, some bad relationships. So I think rather than just the romance aspect of it as a B story, I feel like reconnecting with family and a brother or sister relationship is very for average people to connect with.
Yeah. And this was a reunion in the story, everyone, that wasn't expected in the story, but because, the siblings are estranged and the mother helps them realize that she had to make a tough choice to give up an opportunity for royalty, but then in the end, they end up inheriting the royalty out of it. And so the mother's decision proves to have been the right one over the course of the family history, even though it was tough when it happened, Yeah,
it still has to end happy. It is a Hallmark movie, so it's got to be happy.
And it's Christmas. It has to be merry of some sort.
Yep.
So what was the greatest scene filmed in your opinion?
Gee, that's all we have for Relentless and Unstoppable. So tune into the next episode to hear more amazing stories from amazing guests. This is Keith Scott from Sydney, Australia saying so long, and I'm smarter than the average bear. Gee.